I want to introduce you all to a fantastic meadery in San Diego, California, Lost Cause Meadery, founded in 2017 by Billy and Susanna Beltz. Before opening their doors, Billy had already made a name for himself as a nationally and internationally awarded home mead maker and as a BJCP certified mead judge. Billy and Susanna were kind enough to share these meads with us so that we could taste and review them. There were no instructions, requests, or expectations attached. Just the opportunity to experience the meads for ourselves and introduce you all to some fantastic meads. Hope you enjoyed this video.
Hi, I'm Kevin Pratt. I am the chief brewer at Rincon Brewery in Ventura, California, and we have 3 different restaurants here in the Central Coast, and we are continuing to expand with distribution. We make about 26 different brands and have been winning some awards over the last 2 years with some of our brands as we revamped things and brought them up to date. We're just here to enjoy some lovely meads today and moving on.
My name is John Aitchison. I'm a BJCP National Judge with a mead endorsement, and I've trained a whole bunch of mead makers. I want to say hi to Billy and to all the quaffers out there that know me.
Hello, I'm Roger Taylor. I'm a BJCP Mead Judge. I've been a beekeeper for 60 years. And Billy, I thought I'd judge some of your mead since you judged mine.
Okay. And of course, I'm John Kaufman, BJCP National Judge, Mead Judge, Mead Maker, my channel. And very happy to have everybody here. Thank you, Billy, for sending these up. We're going to do our best to review these properly. We have some really good talent at this table right now. So what we have here is it's 12% ABV.
It's pronounced Charbeek. Those are
SHE?
there could be an alternative spelling, but usually it's Charbeek.
Okay.
And usually that's a tart cherry or sour cherry.
Sweet clover blossom honey. Kevin, why don't you go first?
So right off the bat, I get a cherry pie note. I get cinnamon spiciness to it, and I get the cherry, and more than berry, more than, it's very distinctly cherry because you can get other sorts of notes from cherry if you use it to varying degrees. The color is really bright lipstick red and perfectly clear. It's great. The flavor matches what I said for the aroma. It's got a little pie-like, a little bit of spiciness in the background. There's a toasty pie crust character to it, graham crackerish. The notes, a lot of times the notes like that come from the cherry pits themselves. Can come off a little toasted note to them. So this is really delightful, and the alcohol is in balance with it. The other ones have been a little bit alcohol forward, hot on the nose. This one is really well integrated. Either that or it's my palate.
All right, so I am getting, like Kevin, I'm getting a huge amount of cherry. Hard to avoid it, especially in the aroma. You get a little bit, I get a touch of mustiness or a wild, earthy cherry character as well. Almost like maybe the ground or the shrubs the cherries grow on, but just a tiny bit. In the flavor, lots and lots of cherry as well. But I would like to see it a little bit drier. Because of the fact that it finishes a little on the sweetish side, you don't get an opportunity to really have that tart cherry jump out at you and say, this is my mead. And for me, when I'm making either a cherry beer or a cherry mead, I really want the cherry to be the star of the show.
Let me ask you a question, John. Do you think age would help that? Because there's a lot of tannins that I think more structure will come out in time, which will give you what you're looking for.
No, I don't. I think that younger actually would be better. I mean, you want it to ferment completely, and you want to make sure that there are no fusels. You don't want to rush it, obviously, because you got to keep your fermentation temperature down.
He's got sulfites, so it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, but well, not so much that but you still want it to be to me relatively young, because I think the cherry's going to fade before I think the mead's going to fade.
So before Roger goes, one more question to you, John, because you're very familiar with Roger's apple pie sizer. When I first smelled this, I'm not going to give my comments now. When I first smelled this, I got all the essence of the apple pie, but in cherry pie. That vanilla, I think you commented on that. What do you think about
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that you got a blend of all kinds of aromas. There even a little vanilla, maybe a little bit of almost a touch of cinnamon.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but unlike the apple pie sizer, for instance, I think it hits its sweet spot at about 3 years, 2 or 3 years. So while you might want to age this, I would not age it too long.
Okay. Raj?
This is not a variety of cherry that I'm familiar with, but I really love the flavor. The aroma, I'm getting some white pepper. And the flavor, I'm getting some black pepper, as well as the cinnamon notes in that. I think this is really well done. I like the sweetness of it. I don't think it's too sweet for my preferences, but everybody has their own choice.
I'm glad you mentioned the white pepper because I got that right off the bat, both in the nose and in the aroma. I think that was a good call. The cherry, I agree with all of you guys. I'm not familiar with this cherry, but Robert, you're over there. You're the cherry guy. What do you think of this cherry?
Oh, I really liked it. I thought the flavor came out very well.
John, I'm going to disagree with you. I think 2 years to 3 years would be a sweeter spot for this. I don't think the cherry is going to dissipate that much. I think the tannins might come in a little stronger to give it a little more structure. Other than that, I found it really complex, especially on the pour, right in the nose. Really like this. I could drink this all day. I'd like a little more alcohol in it, though. And Kevin, you wanted to say something?
So one of the things we've been talking about is maybe a way to get less sweetness in these. One of the conundrums with making fruit mead or making a fruit beer is that we get an awful lot of our perception of a fruit, some sort of sweetness. Something has to be pulled back in order to preserve that fruit-like character. And I think in all of these, they have tilted towards the sweetness, even though, like with the cherry, there are classic lambics that are quite tart, and the cherry is quite full and tastes quite real. It tastes like a fresh cherry. So keeping with some of the sweetness here really does immediately put the fruit front and center. And I think that's by design on all of these. I don't think that's a mistake on the part of the mead makers.
And I'll comment on the fruit as well. I totally understand where Billy's going. We're using this kind of cherry rather than, say, a Montmorency. I personally am a Montmorency lover, but it's more one-dimensional. It's just more tart and cherry in your face, but not as many complexities. Well, what kind of cherry is this again? Charbit.
Yeah.
Has a lot more complexity to it, and I understand where Billy's going, and it works as it is.
To see the other 4 parts of this video, check out the playlist over here.